Where do I begin? Newhat was, when they started dealing with me, plus with my history of bipolar, and he's my buddy. When I had issues with the administration, and I got so upset because of how they dealt with us, and in terms of how we dealt with patients who were end of life, and I just started saying so much stuff I shouldn't have been saying to the administration. I told the CEO, I said, I don't like you. You're mean. You're not sincere. You lie to me, like in his face. And Newhat was sitting there. They called him for a second meeting to kind of look at me, and because I was weird. So he was double weird because he's my buddy, and we kind of spoke, and I was kind of nuts. I mean, maybe weird is not the word, but I was very emotional and very just blunt, just telling people.
You say things that most people don't have the nerve or the balls to say. So yeah, people aren't used to that, I think.
You know, but you and I know each other. But the thing is, I told them, I said, they were telling me, oh, Dr. Vaknansky, we love you. I said, you love me, you fear me. You hate me and you fear me. That's why you do this to me. There was like 7 people, all the big shots of the hospital. I say, you talk about love. I say, you have no idea what love is. I say, I have to go to New York to my dad. He has leukemia. And I tell that I may not make the appointment. And the CEO tells me, oh, that's okay. I said, my dad got leukemia. He goes, oh, that's okay. It's just the way he spoke. He didn't mean it's okay, but I said, he doesn't seem to even care. He said, it's okay that it's a war. It's a, you know how it is. It's people say, I could say something to someone like, I feel hurt, and someone say, oh, that's okay. I'm like, that's not okay.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but anyways.
Sam's a great guy. I've been referring to him for years and years. Yep.
You know what's interesting is that Sam, my son's name is Sam, and I'm gonna actually call you right now because maybe he could see him and kind of like put a nice personal touch on it, because otherwise he's just one.
You should call Sam and see if he can, see him. Because I was going to tell you when we talked, if you have nothing to call Sam Newhat and see if he can help your son. Because
Of course.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is what I wanted to. I'm so sorry. I wanted to ask you this as well, because I'm sorry. I don't mean to be distracted. I'm making some coffee.
Okay.
I can't resist a pleasure of speaking to my dear friend and not have some coffee. This is my the closest I can get to the good stuff,
I know. I do know.
Especially after the cold plunge, you get the double dopamine. Having said that, this whole situation with Sam, he comes back a little over a month ago, and it's like, where do I begin? He's severely depressed. Now I can say severely because he's hospitalized. Suicidal, homicidal. He wants to kill me. Yeah.
Why did he leave Russia? What was going on there?
Russia? No, he didn't leave Russia. He left his mother.
Oh, his mother, that's right. I knew he wasn't is that in New York?
No, his mother, my first wife, and so far the only, my ex-wife. I hate the word ex. They live in Parkland, but they lived in Boca. They're like 40 minutes away.
Oh, I didn't know that. I guess I didn't know they were so close. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're close, all right. So so he left them. It was like an incidental thing. His friend made him call me on the 6th of November, and I spoke to him, and I told him, come over. And he came over, and he stayed because he was not good, and he's still somewhat challenging. He has this. I have to Google this. He has this. He goes into this place. He's severely depressed for 2 years. My dad's passing really did a number on him. and is just being distraught. He quit college. He
How old is he?
he's 19, almost 20. He's almost 20 years old.
Okay.
He'll be 20 in February. So he was basically a recluse in his own house. He didn't want to get out. He kind of stopped talking to people, became very withdrawn. Lost his sleep. He could barely sleep, if at all, like 1 hour or not at all.
Wow.
And now when he told me all this, I'm like, well, that's me 5 years ago. So then I started asking him, he admitted to being significant, well, a lot of suicidality and a lot of hatred toward me, some toward mom, but not so expressed. He's consciously hateful of me. And what's so precious, he's very expressive and very self-reflective, like his father. And he expresses how he feels, which is quite unique, to be able to not only, because a lot of people, it's so frozen, that hatred, they don't even feel it. It's like, oh, I don't feel anything, I'm indifferent. He feels it, and he goes, it's a horrible feeling, and to tell it in my face, I said, no, say it. I know how it feels, and that's not so, I shouldn't say normal, but that's what it is. It is natural. So he goes, but it drives me nuts. He goes, I live with you. He goes, and it's so irrational to hate you, and he does not want to go back. And in fact, he goes, I still feel attached to Mama, even though rationally I hate her guts, but deep inside I want to be with her, and yet I hate you deep inside, but rationally I want to be with you. It's like a completely...
Wow, yeah.
And now I take him back a month, like after a few days, I was thinking, listen, I'm taking back to get some clothes. Meanwhile, I'll say hi. I haven't seen the kids in 5 years. This one, I did not step my foot on a porch. She flips, calls police. I stepped away. I went on the road where we were parked, waiting for him. This guy tells me, he took a camera. I said, go film just to make sure nothing happens. Go film. I have a YouTube channel. He goes to me, Dad, come in. It's okay. She has a gun, but she probably won't use it. I'm like, probably? I ain't coming in.
That's not good enough.
No. We don't take chances like that. So,
Did she know that your son was living with you? Did she know that?
of course, she knows. He left. He left, and we called her. I mean, she's flipping her wits out. Now, what's interesting is that she calls police. Police comes again with this police. So I speak to police. She doesn't give him the passport. Says she can't find. Now, she refused, and then when he said it's my property, now she can find it. Whatever. Then 3 days later, I say, Sam, and he's been distraught. Now, the way he's been feeling this month, he's driving me crazy. And I have a lot of different abilities to affect a person. Now, we've been doing great things. We've been paddling all day. We've been eating eating once a day, cold plunging, working out, just being on the beach, meeting ladies, meeting a lot of friends, speaking to everyone. My grandpa, we speak to him every day. My mother, it's been interesting. Now, he goes back 3 days later by himself, and I said, Sam, go back. Don't do what you did to me for 5 years. Talk to them. Don't block. Keep the lines of communication open.
Right.
Your siblings are there. He goes back, starts filming. They jump on him, scratch him, try to get the phone away. He gets scratched, a little bit of blood, but I say, why don't you? And he's talking to me on a FaceTime. I'm like, Sam, why don't you, now you call police. Since this has been a fashionable thing these days, you call police, they jumped on you now. All three of them. So now he calls police. Police comes, and they basically tell him, just don't go back there and just leave. So he leaves.
Did he get his stuff though? Did they give him his stuff?
No. So then we're here, and then I'll tell you something, the way he is, maybe you can give me some advice. It's not so easy when it's your son, because he triggers me too. I cannot be all impartial, because I get grudge for him not being there for 5 years. So having said that, she starts sending police here on several times a week. The police has been here like maybe 4 or 5 times already, checking on his welfare, checking on me. Now she files for a restraining order for me. Tomorrow I have a court date for me stalking her.
Meanwhile, she's the one that attacked him when he could have stopped.
I'm supposedly stalking her because what I did was I called, she blocked my phone. But since he calls, I tell her all the expletives I can, curse the shit out of her, and so does he. And then I tell the kids, I curse them and her, and I'm angry. So then I told Sam, send all the family, all her naked pictures that I have from marriage, all bunch, and not only hers, but bunch of my other exes, just bunch of naked pictures. So he, not to the minors, so he sends it to his sister who's 18. He sends it to her mom, to all the friends. So she flips, and then she files a restraining order for stalking, because this is, I guess this could be considered as stalking. Cyber stalking.
Yeah.
So now.
Why did you have him send all those naked pictures? That probably was not the decision.
Why not?
I don't know why. Why or why not? I don't know.
I tell you why, because I wanna. First of all, I want the family to see this. What she did was sucking dick in front of me in swinger clubs, and now she's all pristine, siliconed up, as I call her, silicone bitch. But I tell you what happened when he called her that. So all of this, I mean, I'm hurt. This guy ends up in the psych ward. Now the whole family's portraying him ending up in the psych ward. Obviously, he goes to the father. 33 days. Now look where he is. They don't, and they did not.
Yeah, but you didn't make that happen.
My dear, I'm learning so much about depression and how our society stigmatizes. They deny when he says to their mom or my sister or my grandma, listen, I've been suicidal for 2 years. They say, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. It's your father who makes you say this, or he convinced you. I'm like, I cannot believe, not only, first of all, they don't understand what it is to be suicidal. Most people don't get what that actually means. And if the ones who do get it, for example, you get it, but I'm curious, have you ever been suicidal yourself? I have a feeling you have been, or no?
I have not, but Michael tried to kill himself. A very, almost successful attempt.
The key word is almost. Almost is good.
I mean, he didn't die, but I saved his life. I came up with CPR on him. This was like 20 years ago.
This was when the whole thing was happening.
You know, he was out of his mind on Oxycontin, and he was very impaired, and he wasn't in his right mind, but they didn't
God bless you for that. You saved his life.
But he made it. But so yes,
He failed.
Suicide note, the whole thing. So
He-
I do have some
He failed.
personal knowledge of it.
That's the best failure to have.
But I've never been suicidal myself. I always had a plan B, and it was never to kill myself. I don't know. I just
Let me tell you something. To feel that. Now I've never tried it, and I'm pretty convinced I wasn't even close to trying. I always knew that. In fact, I was so close to becoming really desperate. I asked my psychiatrist, I said, listen, I'm not feeling well at all. Like there was like maybe a few weeks where I was really low. I said, listen, it's just, I'm exhausted from this. And the balcony, my thing was just, I saw myself, jumping off the balcony. That was my mojo, no, how do you call it? That was my go-to thing.
your MO.
MO.
Modus operandi.
MO.
Right, yeah.
What's MO? What does it stand for, MO?
Modus operandi. Mode of operating. In other words.
Modus operandi, yeah. So, operational mode. So, my thing was, I was gonna jump, I was thinking. And I was flying, and the other thing I was imagining a gun, but I don't have a gun, and then would be just, I would think I would miss half my brain, I'd be like half brain. And I've seen those. They're not good. They're not very happy either. Now, my psychiatrist, she goes, listen, you drive me nuts with these, you just talk shit like this. I trust you, but stop talking. I mean, it's disturbing me to hear this. She goes, throw the key from the balcony. I said, but what do I do if it's like really unbearable? She goes, what you do is, check this out, genius. You go and you check yourself in the hospital, but not yours, not the one you work at. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm thinking, it's just, I don't want to do that either. I mean, but that was my thing, and I don't even think I was close to that, but I was hurt. But the thought, what a disturbing thing.
Yeah.
It's a really annoying, and you know what else is interesting? You lay there at night and you think about this shit, and in a very dark way, just like a lot of these depressive, irrational thoughts, it's pleasure giving. It triggers, I think it triggers dopamine because it's such a powerful thought, and it's such a relieving in a crazy way, and my son confirms it. So I know what he's going through. It's crazy. And now, to go back to him, I get this. I was there. So once I saw him losing sleep, I said, right away, and he did not want to admit it. Oh no. I said, I look at him, I said, Sam, come on, stop bullshitting me. I know how you go. I know what you're going through. So he took me, like I got dark on him. I said, stop this bullshit. You tell me now, because I see it. And he had to admit, because it's even visible. Now, my challenge is that he lies. Now, Patty lies too. And obviously, I mean, it's not an honest person who would block and not talk to the father for 5 years. It takes a lot of deceit. And once he starts lying, and I detect it quite well, just the way he starts doing and all this nonsense. And I've gotten pretty good at it. He gets amazed how I get it. But bottom line, it freezes him. So, one, he gets frozen, and I don't know if it's called catatonic. Is this called catatonic?
Yes, it is catatonic. Yep.
So he goes like this.
Yep.
And then he shakes. And I don't think once he's in that state, I don't think he's able to control it. That it's too deep. Like he just needs to be. Like we tried stuff, and I'm recording, and I'll tell you what we've tried. And he says, listen, I don't give a shit, just try, let's try. I mean, cold plunges help, but only for like 5-10 minutes. He goes right back into it. intense, like burst of activity, again for a few minutes. What helped in the beginning, I tried using a belt, like hit him with a belt, and it did help initially for like 10 minutes, and then he didn't stop helping. So I said, it's not working. And he was willing. I mean, I didn't do it, like I didn't force. I said, listen, if you're willing, we can try it. So when it gets that deep, it takes stuff, like it takes 1 day sometimes to get out.
You know what they use on catatonic depression most of the time, a lot of the time in the hospital, is ECT, electroconvulsive therapy.
It's a little...
They do. They use that for catatonia.
My dear, I was thinking about that for me. It's a little out there. Now,
But it helps people. I have a good friend that went through several treatments of it, and it really, really helped him. I don't know.
I know. And you know what? Your friend does it. I know he's an expert at that.
He what?
Samuel Newhart, he does it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I monitor his patients because I'm ICU. He called me to clear them and to monitor them. But the thing is, what I do, and I need your advice on that. What I notice is what triggers this catatonic state, I should read up on this, is when he starts lying. Well, not only lies, sometimes he wakes up and the night of thinking shit makes him, and when I start poking, say, tell me what you thought. So he doesn't want to tell me, for example, that he wants to go back. I'm like, Sam, I know you're going through this. He doesn't want to tell me he hates me and he wants to kill me. I said, Sam, I know you're going through this. You got to just speak it out because it feels horrible to say. I say, I know, it's crazy. And I even tell him, we laugh about it. I say, look, if you are if you're conflicted in the middle of the night, suicidal, homicidal, if you're not sure who to start from, you start with yourself. If you can figure who to kill first, you or me, start with yourself and then see what happens. Don't start with me.
Please don't start with me, right?
No, they say in all the...
Do you know why he hates you? Do you understand that?
Are you kidding me? Oh, I can give you 5, 10 reasons why he hates me. And some of it is deserved. I mean, I wasn't as good of a father, to put it mildly. And he has such a beautiful, I believe he's a genius of a soul. He's extremely sensitive and extremely self-aware and just a pure soul. He can't take this shit. He goes
I get it.
He goes,
He
Dad.
can't really tolerate this.
Right, he goes, Dad, why my siblings are fine? And I'm like going, I said, Sam, they don't have a soul like you. You cannot take, even when he was growing up, I have videos I'll show you one day. I dressed as a Santa. I have a video of it. And he was 5 or 6. And the siblings were, I mean, he's the oldest, so they were like, there was a 4-year-old, I think he was 6. And so there was a 5-year-old, a 3.5-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And this was like, I think, 2010. So he could not tolerate me. He picked up it was me. He got suspicious a lot. And he used to yell, it is you, it's all in Russian. Like the video was horribly disturbing because it wasn't funny. And we were like laughing, but I gave him a big box of Lego. He couldn't care about the Lego. He says that he tried to rip my beard. He got mad. All the other kids were happy. And they kind of played along a little. I mean, maybe the daughter was a little suspicious. But bottom line is, the guy has no tolerance for a lie.
But he lies all the time.
Well, but what happened was, I'd say maybe 5, 7 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, something switched, and he started lying himself. But he can't take it himself. He can't take his own lies, huh?
Yeah, that's an interesting clinical presentation. Yeah.
I'm the same way. I can't, that's why I don't lie. Because if I start lying, I can't live with myself. I go crazy. So I better say this shit. Like Cicero, he said, you know, the Roman guy says, if it's good enough to think, it's good enough to say. Or don't be thinking. It's a beautiful way of being, but it's not for everyone, because most people make peace with them, with their lying part. Not my son. So he cannot take it. My question is, he lies to me like petty stuff, like
Unimportant stuff, right?
he had a aspiration. Check this out. I learned this, to become a new Pablo Escobar. or a Scarface.
That's a lofty
Oh yeah,
aspiration.
he and you know, so he did some nonsense, whatever. And I'm saying this, but he did it, but it's gone. I don't even know if I say it like this, but it's good because he stopped doing it. Whatever he did, or whatever he did, I don't want to incriminate the guy. Having said that, he never even did it for money. You see, that's even more dangerous, because he's not into money like me. He could care less. He liked the spirit of it, the power, the glam, the whole thing. It's a lot of power, and you know, it's a certain thing that you do that's a certain energy to it. So I told him that's not the most advisable profession. No. So that kind of put a little, made him, I guess, so he had a lot of these. First of all, his partner, I spoke to him, and he tried to hide all that from me, and even now. So like I say, what happened to the text? He would say, oh, I don't know, like Sam, there were all the text, but this one is missing. You erased it. Well, it took me one day to get that out. It's like these petty little lies. Or the fact, I asked him, Sam, what made you stop your aspirations about the Escobarian aspirations? That question catathanized him for a week.
Wow.
So he couldn't tell me
It's
what...
interesting that someone so sensitive, they can't handle this work, would aspire to be like someone who was so violent. I mean, that's what I think of when I think of Pablo Escobar.
No, the violence is not what he was. He liked the business part of it. No, not the violence.
Business. But yeah, but he was all about violence.
No,
In his way.
I'm talking Scarface. I'm using those not for the violent part, but for the business, the type of business.
Well, how about, I don't know, Bezos, Jeff Bezos? That's probably a better role model.
Or even Elon Musk. Go to Mars. Not much going on in there, but the thing is, no, he just likes, he somehow found...
Maybe the fact that it was illegal and he was getting away with something, that's got to be it.
Hear this. You know who was his customers? His own mother. Her friends, not her. Her friends were his customers. His siblings were his customers. I'm like, Sam,
Oh my God.
this is not good. I said, first of all, the actual field is not a good field. Number two, according to the Jewish Bible, you cannot make profit on Jewish people, never mind your family. This is not biblical.
Wow.
Hilarious. I'm like, at least you would have, I mean, you didn't have to make profit on them, but you know, he was a businessman. And she, what kind of mother? And you know what she told him? Listen, just make sure you don't get caught.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Oh my God.
huh? And now this, she sends police to check on me for the welfare.
Really, he's in much better hands with you than he ever was with them.
You know what happens to police?
They took him to the hospital.
I put my camera and all the police go away. The usual, I say, Sam, look, I want to make, and they also have a camera. But somehow my camera makes them uninterested. Okay, we're good. And they just, literally, they just run away. I'm like, wait, let me tell you something. No, we're good. I'm like, Sam, this is crazy. The sheriff came to serve me papers. I'm like, with the camera, and he tried to tap me. I'm like, oh. He goes, oh. And he just ran away. The sheriff with the gun ran away. This little thing I have, it's unbelievable because it's like they say it's like a cross to a demon. You put a cross, the demon will disappear.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good analogy. So I have a patient at 3 o'clock, unfortunately. So what's next for your son? What do you need to do? You need to call Sam.
I'm gonna call him after this, and thank you for mentioning. I didn't even think. I didn't connect. Yeah, he's my close.
Tell him you're a friend of mine.
I don't need any introduction. He and I we're like this. We close. Yeah, but I'll mention you. Of course. It's such a. We should all go to dinner.
He's my favorite psychiatrist.
You should have heard me speaking to him. He goes, Alex. He goes, what the fuck? Like, he goes, are you fucking crazy? And I'm like, Sam, he goes, are you fucking nuts? I'm like, Sam, look at you, you going crazy. He goes, you're right, I'm fucking crazy too. I'm going, you drive me nuts. I'm like, take it easy, Sam. You're the psychiatrist. He goes, fuck that shit.
Oh, he's so cool.
What a mensch. He's another one of us. He's amazing. He's an amazing person. I have so much love. He was really there for me. He called me a few times, and then we kind of like went places. But
he's a really good.
Oh no, he got a heart. He got a heart of gold.
Yeah.
But so what's next is I'm gonna go visit him. My son told me. By the way, he went back again. I told him go again. Last week he went. Called mother a silicone bitch. Finally, somebody woke up. It's not great, but the boyfriend punched him. Now he came back with a bloodied up lip.
And she took a restraining order out on you? This is crazy.
A little bit. One last thing before you go. Maybe you can help me. I try different things. I know when he starts lying, that freezes him. And then it's difficult to get him out of that. It becomes, the volition is not, he doesn't do it willingly, he freezes. It's beyond his control. But lying is very volitional. He says, Sam, you can tell me the truth. Now, it took him a week to admit the fact that, the reason why I asked him, what made you stop your aspirations, the business aspirations? He couldn't tell me. He gave me 15 different crazy, I realized, my brother told me, the crew. I said, some bullshit, come on, tell me. It had to be something bad. Like, I know why I stopped drinking. Not because I realized, no, they went like this to me.
Consequences.
Oh yeah, you get hurt. And that's the only thing that stops. Well, guess why he couldn't tell me? I asked him, what made you stop? He hasn't stopped. Here, he's still actively active. Here, he's not doing it. But here it's like he kept the contacts. I'm like, whoa, I realized it myself. He ain't stopped. Okay, this particular one we have now, mother kicked him out 3 years ago of the house. So he went to New York for a few days. I asked him, Sam, what the fuck happened? This is still a mystery. Now, this is what ended up sending him to psych ward, because I kept going at it, and he would freeze. I don't know how to make him feel safe to tell me the truth. Because once I say, you tell me the truth, I say, okay, kill me, schmill me, whatever. Don't do it, but I accept it. There's not much worse you can tell me if you want to kill me. That's one of the pretty bad things you can.
You can't get much worse than that.
And I'm good for it. I'm here. Anyway, this is interesting. Having said that, I know you gotta go. We should talk.
Great to see you.
We should talk again.
Let's not go so long next time before we talk.
I need a lot of expertise, advice, and I wish Sam was here because he heard you speak, and your advice was very necessary because it affected him too. Because you're the only person that first of all, professional. Second of all, a real person who knows me a little bit. He goes, "Who's this?" I said, "This person knows everything about me." Anyway, let's talk soon.
We will. I'll get a hold of you. I'll text you and we'll set something up maybe in a couple of weeks.
Get a hold of me.
What?
I'm saying, get a hold of me. Like,
I'll get a hold of you. Good. Yeah, that's one way to put it. I will do that.
sweetheart. By the way, so Michael is doing okay, huh?
He's doing okay. He's got to have another surgery the end of February. But he's doing really much better.
Well, give him my regards. I hope to speak to him one day, and tell him he's one lucky man to have you.
Thank you, honey.
All right, sweetie.
Talk to you soon.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. А? Вот человек. Это человек. Мой психолог. Я же тоже немножечко луний. Песенку споем. Я вам песенку спою про 5 минут. Та-та-та-да-да-да. Вот это интересно. Там такие аккорды. Та-та-да-да. Та-да-та-да-да-да. Та-да-на-на-на-на. 5 минут, 5 минут. С Новым годом, с новым счастьем. Время мчит нас вперед. Старый год уже не властен. Та-на-на, та-на-на-на. Вот там. На-на-на-на-на. 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 5 минут, 5 минут. На-на-на-на-на. Сложные там аккорды такие. Там еще была красивая песня у Людмилы Марковны. О, очень красивая песня. Вот это ее надо петь. Где мое кофе? Какая энергия у человека. Надо благодарить друг друга за энергию. Gotta thank each other for energy we give. Сегодня мне в джиме дал человек энергию, прямо зарядил. Говорю, благодарю. Благодарю за энергию. Так приятно. Очень приятно. А ну. Такая песня одна есть. Пойду к Сене. Вчера кино было жуткое. С Джулией Робертс. Такое кино. Leave the world behind. А я рекомендую кино посмотреть. Chimp Empire на Netflix. Midnight Run. Роберт Де Ниро. Ой, какое кино. Midnight Run. Midnight Run. Так вот. От улыбки. Я сейчас скажу. А ну. Вот она. И улыбка без сомнения. Текст. И улыбка без сомнения. О, а ну давай. Это вообще феноменальные слова. Если вы нахмурясь. Высоковато, низковато. Так что это тональность. Если вы нахмурясь, выйдете из дома. И если вам не в радость солнечный денек, пусть вам улыбнется, мнется. Пусть вам улыбнется. Если вы нахмурясь, выйдете из дома. И Если вам не в радость солнечный денек, пусть вам улыбнется, как своей знакомой, с вами вовсе незнакомый встречный паренек. И улыбка, без сомнения. Ага, аккорд. И улыбка, без сомнения. Ага. И улыбка, без сомнения, вдруг коснется ваших глаз, и хорошее настроение не покинет больше вас. Что-то все не так, ёппересете. Нормально? Тональность не так. Лучше в этой. Тут не тяжело. Если вы нахмурились, выйдете из дома, если вам не в радость солнечный денек, пусть вам улыбнется, как своей знакомой, с вами вовсе незнакомый встречный паренек. И улыбка, без сомнения, вдруг коснется ваших глаз, и хорошее настроение не покинет больше вас. О, дальше. И вас. Если вас любимый вдруг поссорил случай, часто тот, кто любит, ссорится зазря. Вы в глаза друг другу поглядите лучше всяких слов порою. Взгляды говорят, и улыбка, без сомнения, вдруг коснется ваших глаз, и хорошее настроение не покинет больше вас. О, еще последний куплет. Если кто-то другом был в несчастье брошен, и поступок этот в сердце вам проник, вспомните, как много есть людей хороших, их у нас гораздо больше. Вспомните о них, и улыбка, без сомнения, коснется ваших глаз, и хорошее настроение не покинет больше вас. На канале.